wrestling, and then one dad would be doing chin-ups or something at the playground, and then my daughter would say, "Mom, you do them," and then I'd go and do like 30, and they would be like, "What?" Or if I was wearing a tank, they'd be like, "Oh my gosh!" So it was awesome. Like, my kids were quite proud. They spent a lot of time in the gym too when I had like 2 hours of cardio. So the gym people would get to know my kids. My daughter would be reading. "Oh, what are you doing here, little girl?" "Mom's doing cardio." So my kids were really involved in my bodybuilding from little. Like, I've been doing it for 11 years, and Mia's 16. Sometimes she'd be like, "Are you going to the gym?" I'm like, "Yeah, every day." "Okay, when are you going to be back?" So they were really good about it. But I make a very, very conscious point to spend a lot of time with them every single day. It doesn't matter if it's at one of their sports events. I don't miss. So if I have to be in that gym at 4 in the morning, I'll be in the gym at 4 in the morning. If I have 2 hours of cardio, I will get it done and still be at their band concert or their wrestling event. I don't miss nothing. "Oh, mommy, can you bake 60 cookies for this thing?" "When? Tomorrow?" So I made it. I sometimes I burn at two ends of the candle. I might be 2 in the morning, but I get it done.
You're like any other mom, like I
Yeah.
said, my mom, she, like I said, this, my mom, my mother and father would get her 50 years, but for that half of that 50 years, my father lived in New Jersey, my mom was down here in North Carolina with us.
Wow.
And she had to raise 6 kids plus 2 grandchildren. And that's why I have a lot of speculators like yourself who do
Amazing.
this sport, who compete, do this and do that. I know there's times where, that's a good thing that you do get to spend time with your children. But then as being competitive, you do have to sacrifice some time every now and then
Yep.
because you want to hit that next level. And it's tough, being both
You just gotta
athlete.
balance it, right? Like, I make 3 different types of meals sometimes a day. My husband likes, "Oh, I want a roast tonight." The kids want, "Oh, mom, can you make a lasagna?" Like, and so I do it, or sometimes I'm like, "No, everybody's eating roast," So, and I still have to make my meals, right? So, but yeah, I do it. And every weekend I make a huge brunch every Sunday. So bacon, eggs, toast every Sunday for the past like 20 years. Waffles, pancakes, you name it. Sunday morning I do it. Even on Mother's Day.
The Monday would be your day to sit back, relax, and
I wish nobody cooked for me
no,
yesterday.
no. What kind of man is that? Take your wife out to dinner.
Nope.
Children, nah, they ain't worth it. Ain't worth anything. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, yeah, I
it's
know.
okay. My stuff
Yeah,
was prepped.
it's just from a man here. Roy says, hello. How are you doing today, ma'am? He also, yes, said, Roy. He's from India. Cool dude. He came on last week one night. Also, he says, you have the death face on. Are you going to do the New York Pro Am? No, she said that she's
Yeah.
planning on doing the Toronto, but
Yeah, that's like 3 weeks. So yeah,
yeah. So
I got death face. I know it's terrible.
yeah, it's
I
just one of those. It's like one of those times. I remember I was like, I follow Lisa Coldry, one of your other fellow Canadians. She posted like that week when she was competing in Olympia. She posted her face and she put it beside Quagmire from the Family Guy. I just you got it.
That's who I should put, or that Squidward. Like,
Yeah, squid, with the
oh,
wrong
it's
squid,
like,
like
I have a
but
terrible. I've been looking into Botox, and then someone quoted me like $1,000, and I'm like, oh god.
you might
So
yeah
I'm just keeping diet face, and people can make their really nasty comments. So go ahead.
yeah. And that's the thing is about this sport. It's just that people, what it is that with women bodybuilding, it's it takes people out of don't feel comfortable with the idea of women with muscle. It's just the mindset is not as appealing compared to other divisions. But here's the thing about this: we have to remember you're an athlete, and like any athlete, you have to get in shape, you have to be conditioned, be ready. And as you know, over the years, the sports has evolved. If you look at how even with physique and women's bodybuilding, it's getting really thin between the lines. If you look at like Judy Wessel, who competed with you, she took second at the Cool Pro. She was physique. Sherry Priami, who I interviewed about a month ago, she was physique. A lot of those women are coming up from that division because the fact is they're trying to, some women will fight and say, I don't want to go up there. I don't want to go. I want to lose your femininity. But if you look at someone like Natalia Quajo, You look at
Yeah.
someone like you know Anne Moon. Anne Moon said she wouldn't want to go up because she's from France. I did an interview with Bob Majaj. Said in France they always feel like women bodybuilding is not something they've seen too often. I did an interview with another lady who you competed with. That's Gabby Vega, who says she's from Mexico, where it's not very feminine to have muscle. But like I said again, you're an athlete, you're competing, and and it's funny how people make comments like one say, "Well, she tried to be a man. She has a husband, she has kids." And then the other side, you have the guys who like, guys like you excited to see you, you talk about your legs, talk about your quads, and they do the weird shit because some women don't like that weird shit. Because hey, guys, like that's why I tell guys no D pic because like I said, you gotta respect a woman because she, even though she has a lot of muscle, more muscle than most men, she's still a woman, and you gotta respect
And
her.
I like my look. Like, if you make comments that you don't like my look, then like, why? Just if you don't like it, keep it to yourself, or don't follow us, right? Like, just don't follow. You don't need to say disgusting things. Like, it's inappropriate and hurtful, very hurtful, right? Like, I don't go on someone's page and say things like that. I would never. They like themselves, and or maybe they don't, but that's not for me to judge. We're about being positive and encouraging others, right? Not or just don't say anything. That's actually better.
Yeah, that's easy to do, but some people they just need to they
You
gotta
know,
vocal themselves like stuff.
I have
Like I
to
said,
check actually every hour because the comments are just,
ridiculous.
yeah,
Yeah.
like I have to look all the time, and yeah.
Yeah, because I know this is a quote from one of my favorite rappers, Jay Z. This is from one song. It says, "A wise man told me not to argue with fools. 'Cause from a distance, no one can tell who is who." And I don't spend no time arguing with fools because, like I said, if you don't like it, you don't have to like it. And the thing about bodybuilding, when I was coming up, it used to be on television. You can watch it on,
Yeah.
network television. You watch it on cable, but because it's not a very popular sport, and then they always talk about the situation about we saw earlier about steroids. But if you think about it, almost every sport in the world uses it. It happens in boxing. It happens in football, with a few baseball. Like I said, I remember a few years ago they had here in the states. They had the whole congressional hearing about baseball players using steroids. It's cheating, but if it's something to give you that extra, especially when you get older, and it's something that gives you that extra lip to keep on going. So you can, especially as that sport where you make money. And as I talk about this, there's not a lot of money in bodybuilding. Like I said, if it was, you wouldn't have to do what you have to do. And some women they do particular certain sites, which is but for fans. But your wife with kids, and it's something that you wouldn't want to do. But it's the way to make income. I know I did an interview with a young lady. Her name's Hannah Hussein. She's an NPC competitor, and she does it. She says it's lucrative for her, but she's young. She don't have too many responsibilities other than herself. But with yourself, like I said again, you're a wife, a mother, and and I think it's not something for you, but it's something that
I mean, I
it's
get
right here.
asked and I do, and I appreciate it. The thing is I work for a professional company and I'm also a representative for the athletes. So when I work for the Canadian Physique Alliance, it's really important to me to represent professionalism. And because I'm a mom, I don't want my kids knowing that, I'm doing unprofessional things to make money. I mean, I'm delighted that people want to see my physique. That's an honor. But yeah, I choose not to do that. And I hope one day maybe I can uh, have a sponsor that will see my potential professionally.
Yeah, because that's why I say like this. If guys feel like a lot of guys out here saying like this, not enough, shows for women's bodybuilding. There's guys out there. There's at the undercover fans, and some of them have deep pockets. And you feel like a competitor needs to be sponsored. Reach out in genuine interest in sponsoring someone like yourself. Like some guys do like this says, Melina, I mean, you're kind of cute. I like you got those nice big old quads. I want to touch them. If you send me some things, I'll send you something. No, 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 no. We don't want that. We want some genuine people saying, Miss Perron, I want to sponsor you. If anything you need from me, let me know. I mean, just something. If it's just something simple as maybe a little, something in your for your trip when you go to a show, or maybe pay for your room for you, or something like that.
It
That's what
would
we
be
really want.
nice, right? Like I am gonna start. I'm collecting content for an OnlyFans where I'll show training and videos. I have an amazing leg video I can't wait to share with you guys, but I've been saving it for my OnlyFans. And but it's tasteful, right? Like
Mhm.
there are videos of my quads just totally all veined up. I haven't shared it yet. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty mind blowing. I was right after the Vancouver. I was full of carbs. It looks pretty cool, but it, that can be something that people can purchase, right?
Yeah, because guys would like that stuff because they love stuff. You don't have to get, how Buddy Mac said in place because, but as naked, you just, just something like just showing your legs or just showing your, just guys have, you can even show your feet. There
Yeah,
is
I've got a few
there's a
requests.
lot of guys that into feet. I mean, the foot. I had a friend of mine. She's not a bodybuilder. She's a MMA fighter, and she reached out to me one day. She said, "George, I think about doing a foot fetish thing." I said, "You really want to do that?" I said, "Well, what you want to do is like you want to do this and this and this because she's married, she has kids, but she said it's a way for her to pay for her MMA career." And I said, "Well,
Hey,
all you got to do is just." I told her like this: just get a separate computer, because you know how with Google everything's kind of connected. Get everything separate, where you won't get traced back and everything else, and you can, because you can make some money off of that. It's, I'm not into feet like that. I don't,
I know people are. I have tons of veins in mine, and I'm sure there's like maybe someone. Like mine are very veiny.
I've picked this guy's here who probably will pay for that. My man here, John Doe, he says, sorry about I meant to Melina. Damn autocorrect. Also, this is from man KL. I do eat kiwi at times, so I think kiwi's kind of on this sweetie. And he says, excuse me, I'm warming the bananas. They're good. Also, this is from Roy. He wants to apologize. Says you. I hope I didn't mind by the word death base. I just used the bodybuilder's terms. You don't need to do Botox at all. You are beautiful. You are a female bodybuilder, not a model chick. And this is from man Lawrence Perkins coming through. Lawrence Perkins says, "Good afternoon, Melina Paran. It's good seeing you, George, and everyone on the chat. Thank you, Lawrence, for coming through, brother." And like I said, yeah, it is tough to find that because there's a lot of ladies who do a little streaming, there's some who don't. But to have passion for a sport, and especially where women's bodybuilding, as we know, this is it had a bounce back when Jake Wood stepped up because they kicked him out of the Olympia, so few shows, had a good bounce back. The basketball program is gone. I mean, few shows, and now they cut out the point system because it's saying too many competitors. But then you got to think about it when you're doing shows where you only have one this division, that division, and those. So again, those divisions are easy turnover, but not enough opportunity for women's bodybuilding. I mean, I say like this: the guys out there who are fans who saying that where's women's bodybuilding, step up, say something. Go to the promoters.
Yeah, like I'm actually surprised Sean Ray, he had Andrea Shaw pose at his show. So I thought, oh, cool. I guess they have female bodybuilding now. It's in Hawaii. So I Googled it. I'm like, oh, I'm going to do this Hawaiian Pro. No, they don't have female bodybuilding. I was like, what? Well, that would be an amazing show. You have a female bodybuilder posing at your show. Why wouldn't you have female bodybuilding? Thought that was odd. So I was like, oh, okay. I understand the divisions do cost the promoters prize money. So that might be one of the challenges, and a lot of us, but I know as an athlete, we look for really nice shows to go to also as a holiday. And I'll tell you, Hawaii would be number one on my list. And I like to go to a lot of the southern states because you guys have beautiful weather. I live in a place that you just had snow 2 weeks ago. Okay. So I would like some warmth. Like you can see, I wear a toque because it's cold here all the time. It's always cold. I would like to be warm.
Well, there is the Atlanta Pro. There was two shows in Georgia for
Yeah,
Linda. There
Georgia's
was
beautiful.
yeah, there was Atlanta and there was Savannah. Savannah's not. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Isn't that Linda's show?
Yeah, there was like the one Atlanta. There was like they're both in Georgia. You had Savannah and Atlanta, and the Savannah show is not on the list this year. Atlanta's still going. I think Atlanta's come right before Chicago, and she did have Norfolk in Virginia, but she closed that when she moved to Georgia.
Oh,
And there's Tampa and
good show. Yeah, like
yeah,
Tampa's
this
awesome.
type of show maybe next year. That is
Yeah,
something to shoot for next year. I know I was talking to Tana Huey, we both know. She
yeah.
wanted to do more shows over the side. She was talking about even coming to Savannah, but the cost of the travel and and just
That's the challenge, right? Like people are like, well, why don't you do another show? I can't afford it. Like I just don't have it. Like even Toronto was like, maybe I was gonna back out, and I actually was like, so yeah, you just end up as an athlete. You kind of strategically plan where you can do shows. Like I would love to do the Masters, but a flight to Romania from Canada is like close to $4,000. Like I can't afford that. So you just can't. I didn't even bother applying because it was 30 with taxes. It was like 36 something to fly there. That's like who's paying $4,000 to fly to Romania? And so that Masters show is just out of the question
yeah.
completely.
To me, that don't make sense that they have it all because I know Alita Popa, she's promoting that show, and she's already has the remaining Muscle Fest. That's for next year's Olympia, for qualification.
And I think it's great. It's awesome to have a Masters show. It's just the location is like, I know it's beautiful. I think it's cool. It's Romania. Man, it's like real. I'll never go because it's just too expensive to fly there for us. It doesn't matter what time of year. So
Hmm.
that's kind of sad. Like I think either in Europe or maybe in the States, it's easier for me, but
Yeah.
not for everyone, right?
Yeah, because a lot of competitors like to come over here, especially for it's a lot harder for competitors overseas that to come over here because there's more shows opportunity for you competed with Ann Moon. She'll come over here for the Olympia. She did the Vancouver show. Mostly they rather do shows close to home.
Yeah,
You
then we
know,
can kind of bounce around and it's reasonable for us. And we try to find flights and accommodations that are a little more reasonable. Yeah, but yeah, that Masters show is unique.
well, it was some match shows back in the day, back in the '90s, but it was mostly men's bodybuilding.
Yeah,
But they brought it back because matches getting really popular. You have Jake Udit has a show. The Masters, I think it's the World
yeah,
Masters Pro.
Gary's show.
Gary Udit, and and Masters it's started because you've seen like women like yourself who are coming to sport late in
I'm in
life.
my mid 40s. I'm in my mid 40s. I'm ready to retire. I competed with a lot of beautiful ladies like Keisha. I think she's close to 50 actually.
What?
Yeah, she told me at my wedding. I walked by and she says, "How old are you?" And I said, "Well, how old are you?" And I think she said 48 or 9. And I was like, "Oh, what?" I was shocked.
I,
She looked incredible.
I
I
thought she
I
was
thought she was like
30.
yeah.
I thought
She
she was like maybe mid 30s, maybe. I
Yeah, she
mean,
placed fourth. Yeah, yeah. Keisha, yeah, I thought she was in her 30s too. I said, "What? You look incredible."
well, I know
Yeah.
Shay Mashaka. She turned 53 that day on the show because and Shay she's 53
That's
and
incredible.
I know Taylor's like about 50 or 51 52
Unreal.
and you wouldn't I mean when we just tell me that Keisha is almost I'm 48 I'd be
Yeah, I
49
think she was 48 or 49. Like I was like, "What?"
I wouldn't think of it because I
No.
thinking she thought she looked like
Oh,
I
and
was
so youthful and her skin's so beautiful and I thought she was in her 30s too. I was like,
what
"What?"
it's an old saying here in America, black don't crack. So that's what it is.
You
Because
guys you guys have
yeah, because you
beautiful
look at
skin.
Andrea, she's like gonna be 40 this year, and she's just a beautiful woman. I got a friend, she just did a workout with her um on Mother's Day weekend. I said, I told her she said, I'm going to work out with Andrea. Says, I hate you. He said, yeah, and she told me, said, I always love you, George. Nah, I'm like Kirk Douglas in the movie The Vikings. I'd rather have your love. I'd rather have your hate than your love. And she is an amazing lady. I think she's the woman that's really
Yeah.
bringing new life to women's bodybuilding. We most
Oh yeah.
definitely needed this. A man here, Roy, saying, he says Melissa Tack is probably going to do Toronto Pro. How do you think she's going to do? And what is your plan for winning it at all? So yeah, and, Melissa Tack, she was physique. She went up, because some people kept telling us like Melissa need to go up because, like I said, she does a lot of powerlifting.
Oh,
And when somebody says to do powerlifting, you really put on a lot more size. And like I said again, when you're a physique competitor and you're getting bigger and more muscle, and this, like there's like I was like one woman who competed at the Portugal, not the Portugal, the Pittsburgh Pro, Emmy Sherbert. They're showing pictures of her. She looked really large and shredded. She hadn't competed since 2021 Olympia, but she looked like, my guess, she just looked more condensed a little bit now. But even though this is where someone keeps saying that I don't want to sacrifice femininity. I don't want to be too muscular, too big. But then, like I said again, when you train hard, you eat heavy, you do this, you do that, you're not gonna, like I said again, you're involved as an athlete. If you look at figure girls now, those figure girls look like girls who I would say about the mid '90s. When bodybuilding was like I would say early Linda Murray or Corey Everson after her last Miss Olympia, and then the girls in physique looking like the girls in, like, I think like about I would say, Alita Popa or Iris Kyle back in the day. If you put like someone like Iris Kyle back in 2014, Iris Kyle alongside 2023, Natalia Coelho,
yeah.
you couldn't tell the difference which was which.
I know the divisions are starting to just it's getting harder, bigger. They're really advancing, and yeah, it becomes challenging for us too. Like, where are we going with this? Is it size? Is it conditioning? Is it, and it's like, wow, you're right. Like, it's like the bodybuilders of the 70s would not make it on the stage, but they're amazing. They're beautiful. I love the look. Like, but it's, yeah, it's different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like classic Frank Zane or Early Arnold or was it Sergio Olivier? Those guys,
And
they
that's why they added those divisions, right? Now they have this classic so that it kind of matches that look, that Arnold and Sergio look.
Mhm.
But how many more classes are we going to add? Like, look at, it's getting wild, like wellness. And I mean, I see the separation for each, but that means things just get bigger and bigger and bigger. Ooh, I
Yeah,
don't know about that.